Hey, what's up everybody? 3D Theory here. Today is August 9th, 2024, and it is 11:09 a.m. and this is vlog number 29. Finally, today we're going to be able to continue production. I ended up finishing the physical tests on the latches that look like this, by the way, and we've updated the 3D file, uploaded all of them onto the SD cards on the tiny Bambu Lab A1 3D print farm, and this one's got an AMS light combo. So we're going to get started today with production. It's going to be the run-of-the-mill kind of day, and it looks like we're going to have to switch out that filament and that filament to begin with. So let's get that underway. By the way, it is 81.5 degrees Fahrenheit in the 3D printer room. Someone mentioned in the comments that I get the bubbles on top, and that usually happens because I fill the cup halfway with coffee and the rest of the way with room temperature water, but I hold it down low so that it creates that bubble effect. I like it myself, so that's why I make that happen. Nothing like a good cup of coffee. And without a doubt, no better way to reset. Outdoors, relaxing, looking at nature, enjoying the beautiful sky, and maybe even having a nice cup of freshly brewed coffee. We are running out of filament here, so there is more filament on its way, but it's going to take just a little while to arrive. And also, I have filament coming for the Stealth TV tray that's part of this line. This is the Stealth French side table. This is available for free on my Maker World. Link is in the description below, along with Bo-Katan's throne from Mandalorian Season 2, Darth Vader's throne from the Kenobi series, and the Sith throne that Ralph McQuarrie designed for the original trilogy of Star Wars. But this was featured in Star Wars Episode 9, and it looked really cool. These thrones are for your phone, and they can recline like that. And so you can put your phone horizontally, vertically, bring it back however you want it, and same with the Vader throne and the Bo-Katan throne. The cool thing about the Vader throne is you got a spot for your Apple AirPods, and that's green from Rainbow Friends. All of these are available on my Maker World for free to download and print. The link is in the description below. Have fun. By the way, today was a little bit of a late start. I was up late last night grinding away on those steel bars with the rotary tool and the carbide burr. However, the little grip head for the rotary tool got so worn out and the carbide burr kept dropping down so much that I had to stop. And so I did want to update you guys on this method. I won't be continuing with this method. It was something I wanted to try, and it worked out for a good big handful of those steel bars to elongate the screw hole, but I got to try a different method now because this just didn't work out. The main problem again was that the rotary burr, it's little, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a copper or brass, looks like a mechanical pencil if you open it up, little holder for the burr. It just got so worn down from the vibrations that it wasn't gripping the carbide burr anymore. And maybe I can actually show you which piece I'm talking about. All right, so it's the piece that's in here. So let me see if I can open this up for you so you can take a look at it. But there's this little brass piece right here that holds on to the burr, but let me see if I can take that out. There you go. I got it unstuck. So it's this piece. The teeth in there got so worn out that it just stopped holding that burr, and every time I would take this carbide rotary burr, 4 millimeters by the way, in diameter, and wear away at that hole, this would shake so much that it would drop out. But by hand, you can't put it back in. You would have to unscrew this part every single time, and it just became a really inefficient way of doing it. So today, I'm going to go pick up a drill press from a family member who allowed me to use theirs, and I'm going to use a drill press for it. Hopefully it works. And so I also got a drill set for steel, and I'm going to attach it to that drill press and do it that way. I assume it will work out just fine, but no way to tell until trying it out. It has been 4 days since we've been running production at full capacity, and it just feels weird walking in here and not seeing these printers doing their really good work. I'm really happy with these Bambu Lab A1 3D printers. They really do a good job. As mentioned, the filaments on these look really good. I think I could do one more with this one here, and that one's pretty much brand new. So I'm gonna get these prints started. All right, let's do, this is the right side, so right latch. And this is the left side. Oh, you know what? I need to load this filament. So let that load in. I'll actually start this side. This is the left side, so we'll get that started there. For those of you who are new to the channel, this is my tiny 3D print farm of Bambu Lab A1 3D printers, and I got 5 of them. And this is a set right here. We got a left plate, right plate, left latch, right latch, and as you saw, the latches look like that. And on this one, I use the AMS light combo to print out all the near empty spools, which I've got a box of them over here. And these spools cannot finish one full plate or latch, so they go into the near empty spool box to be used on the AMS light, because this has auto refill, so I could start printing with one. Once that finishes, it'll move on to the next one automatically, finishing up an entire piece. This one's calling for my attention. Let's see what's going on here. Let's retry that. Is it pushing it forward? No, not yet. Let me retry one more time. Come on. All right, I helped push that filament in there, and it looks like it's doing its thing now. There's just still a lot of black filament in there from when I printed out that jig. It's coming along. Just gotta click retry over and over until I see that gray coming out of there. Hey, there it is. Very nice. Now I just click done, let it purge out the rest of that in there, then it'll be ready to start printing. And by the way, to continue for those who are new to this channel, these plates and latches connect to a larger product that I don't really talk about because this channel mainly focuses on the 3D printing aspect of it all, and the rest of the product is not 3D printed. Alright guys, so let's get the right latch going. There you have it. And it is sure getting hot in here, so I'm going to put that on high. Sorry Sith Throne, I have to grab these 2 filaments here. Alright guys, I'm going to get these turned on and clear out the test strip there. And these have been on here for quite some time, so I'm going to take these off. Someone was saying in the comments if I can just bend this halfway and get the plate off of there, and since there is such a large surface area covering this from the plate, the back does get kind of undone. It's kind of hard to just bend the plate and take it off, bend the PEI sheet rather, and take the plate off. It doesn't pop off real easily, and usually right here where this pathway is where it gets stuck the hardest. So that is why recently I've been taking off the build plate and just flexing it instead of just flexing it halfway while it's still on the build plate. In some of my older vlogs, I was using a spatula to take these out, and eventually I switched to just taking off the build plate and bending it, and it's simple enough, and like everything, you do it enough times, it becomes like second nature. So I think we're at that point where I've done it enough times where it just feels real easy to do it, taking it off, bending it, and putting the build plate back on. And someone did have a great suggestion of just, printing out the plates up top, and I still need to maybe implement that. I haven't fully decided if I want to do that for sure, but it's something that I do want to try out. But look at these prints. They are beautiful. Really good job, Bambu Lab. Sometimes the little pieces get stuck, usually where the support is for the screw holes, because on each piece there's like 6 screw holes, and I have supports there, and as you can tell, sometimes it chips off there a little bit, but it's all good. I'm also, as of late, using isopropyl alcohol to wipe, maybe not after every print, but after maybe 5 batches. And we have to change out the filament here, so I'm going to go ahead and unload. And likewise, I'm going to take this out of here and unload that filament while I do that. All right, looking real nice. This is PETG, by the way. I remember when printing with PETG required a whole bunch of settings where everything had to be perfect, but with these Bambu Lab A1 printers, I'm having such a good time printing PETG. It's my new PLA. I don't really use PLA as much anymore, especially because PETG is stronger and more heat resistant. So I feel more comfortable printing with that, with the things that I'm printing. All right, so this is ready to be taken out. And likewise with this one. So if you guys don't know already, my previous printers were the Creality CR10 SEs, and going from that to the Bambu Lab A1s was honestly a no-brainer. It was such a great upgrade. I'm so glad I did it. These printers have just been so reliable, printing out such high quality 3D prints. And as mentioned before, these near empty spools of filament go right in to the near empty filament box. And there you have it. All right, time to swap them out. Nothing like opening up a fresh spool of filament. Love it. Okay. And number 2. By the way, I got some fun colors coming in too with this new shipment, because I really wanted to try this company's other colors for their PETG. It's been printing really well. It doesn't come with a desiccant. Some of those near empty spools were sitting out for 2.5 months, and they printed out perfectly. And keep in mind, it's PETG, where they are supposed to take on moisture, but it didn't. It could be a combination of the filament and the Bambu Lab A1s, but nonetheless, they work fantastic with these machines. All right, I got that loaded in and it's ready to go. Now let's do this one. While I get this spool ready, I'm just gonna click load so that the temperature starts going. And back in the day, on the older 3D printers that I have, the older generation, mainly Creality that I have, I used to have to cut these at an angle so that it goes in. But these Bambu Lab A1 printers have a filament cutter in the tool head here. It goes over here and cuts it. And it cuts it at a flat angle, so having it flat like this works perfectly fine with these machines. I'm gonna get this loaded on there, and there's a filament sensor in the tool head, so as I push this through and it stops, the tool head knows that there's filament waiting right there. And once the nozzle heats up, you'll see the extruder here, this gear start turning, showing that it's starting to grab that filament and load it in. So I'm not sure if it pushed any through, but I'm going to click retry here, meaning to retry to extrude the filament out in preparation for getting it ready for printing. And yeah, this time it didn't need my help. Sometimes I have to grab the filament from there and push it through while it's extruding out, but this time it did it on its own. So with that, we could just click done. And I do see some cotton candy like filament here, so I'm just going to try to clean that off. There you go. Very nice. All right, these printers are ready to start printing. So left plate, very nice, and this one will be the right plate. Very cool. By the way, some of you have been asking about the DeWalt rack here, or shelf, and yes, to answer your question, it's a great rack and it handles printing 4 machines very well. When it goes through its vibration tests, this thing holds up like a charm. This thing does make a little bit of noise, but I put a couple of pieces of cardboard there and it prevents this thing from rattling, but it's a sturdy shelf. It's a very, very sturdy rack, and I'm glad I went with this. I actually had purchased racks that I've seen other people use, but as I was putting it together, the rack bent. And so I returned that and I said, I'm going to look for something that looks really solid, and is solid. And actually comes with a board instead of a grate. So I found this on Amazon, and I'm really glad I went with this. I really didn't need a top rack for anything, so I went with this size. You could stack these. If you get 2, you could stack them up, as far as I know. But I didn't need anything higher than this, so this DeWalt rack has really been a sturdy, solid piece for the Bambu Lab A1s here. Alright, time to load this guy up as well. Actually, I'm going to turn it on first. This is printer number 5. I number all my printers. As you can see here, this is printer number 5, and all of them got their numbers. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is number 5. Alright, as mentioned before, got my near empty spool of filament here. Let me get this coffee out of the filament drop zone. Don't want filament going in the coffee. I'm going to load this into spool folder number 4, or slot number 4. Actually, that looks like slot number 3. Yep, it is. And cool thing about the AMS light, it just starts rotating it on its own and it's ready to go. So let me see what latch we have in this box. We have a right latch, so I'm going to go ahead and do a left latch. And we're ready to go with these machines. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for today's vlog. It was just a quick run-of-the-mill session in the mini 3D printer farm room, and we are in full production again, which feels really great after 4 days of just physical testing. But nonetheless, thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, peace, love, and joy.